No, I can tell you. I cannot tell you how really freaking furious I am. I can't tell you how really furious I am about tonight. About today. This. Right. I mean, this. I just don't believe it. I just don't understand this show. I'm the Godfather Soldiers. Just to explain. Name my topic tonight is name my topic tonight. Name my topic this evening. Name my topic this evening. It's called bullshit and boring in Berlin. That bullshit and boring in Berlin, Germany, the hometown. Gunther's hometown. Well, is this the end? Yeah, that's my top tonight. Bullshit and boring Berlin. Is this the end for Cody Rhodes? That's my top tonight. Before I do, I'm gonna show up a little bit of music, cause cause the number one hit single "Fame" by David Bowie. Now the reason why I'm playing this song for today, because yesterday was a happy birthday to someone someone to. The reason why I'm playing that song, because yesterday would have been a happy 69th birth would have been a happy 79th birthday to someone I grew up watching, someone I love, someone one of the best rock and roll musicians of all time. Yeah, and I'm gonna play for all of you. So stick around. Right back. Let me get him. Just play right back. Yep, it was David Bowie, Fame, from his number one hit single from 1975 from his 1975 album Young Americans. So let's go tonight this evening's terrible show. This terrible afternoon edition of Thursday Night Smackdown, Friday Night Smackdown. WWE Then Now Forever Together opens up the show. We get a shot of Uber Arena heading to the Superstars rivals, including U.S. champions, United States champions, Carmelo Hayes and Julia, and the undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment champion Cody Rhodes, who got some boos from the crowd. And that's stupid. Really stupid, the boos from the crowd. That's really stupid. Him getting booed. Him getting booed. Yeah, stupid move from the fans in Germany. We head to ringside for the arrival of Randy Orton. The crowd singing along with his theme along as he walks down to the ramp. He soaks in the adulation of the fans in Berlin, Germany. As he gets into the ring and poses on the turnbuckle, his music fades into a sea of Randy chants as a 14-time world champion has a mic in his hand. He says it feels right to be back in this ring, welcoming the crowd to Friday Night Smackdown to a big pop. Another Randy chant as Orton starts to speak again, but is quickly interrupted by the music of Trick Williams. No Booker T to add the affairs, but the crowd is chanting, "Whoop that Trick," as the former NXT and TNA champion heads to the ring, starring the Viper down upon entering. Wow, so he got some nerve, huh, Trick? Trick gets a mic of his own, running Orton down by saying everyone says it's going to be their year. The crowd is riled up, nearly drowning in his voice as he says, "There's a new star here, Trick Williams. He doesn't know about Germany, but every other country loves some Trick Willie." He gives some Orton a bit of math to store it out. As the crowd chants RKO wow, Williams says, "It's not 2006, it's 2026, let's talk about it." Orton agrees to talk about it. Talk about his height and his smoking hot wife. Wow, before saying the only number that matters is the 14 world titles he's won. He gives Trick some kudos, but there's one thing Orton is unsure about, and that is Trick coming out here to interrupt him. He doesn't know if Trick has the brains. Williams agrees, saying Randy's one of the greatest. He appreciates what Randy said, but has this issue with him saying Trick doesn't have the brains. He's out here to seize his opportunity to brush up against one of the great ones. Let's talk about it. He hypes himself up. Before Orton says he doesn't know what they're teaching him down in NXT, but you don't turn your back on a Viper. He let that one slide, but if it happens again, he's gonna whoop that Trick. He's gonna kick Trick's ass. Things start to get heated between the two, leading to Randy look for a draped DDT on the rising star before Miz comes out for some revenge. What he gets instead is an RKO, sending him out of the ring as Randy stares down Trick before heading out of the ring. Ray Phoenix makes his entrance as Orton heads to the ramp, with the Viper giving Phoenix some words of advice as in praise as we head to the commercial. Back from the break, both men are in the ring as this match gets underway. Trick Williams versus Ray Phoenix. The true straight defense back and forth, leading to a set of near falls from both sides. Trick sends Phoenix to the corner, but is quickly turned around as Phoenix uses the ropes to take Williams down. He sends Trick to the outside only to take a leg lariat when Williams returns quickly, and that gets him a 2 count. Trick continues to wear down Phoenix, slamming him down to the mat for another near fall as the crowd chants "Let's go Phoenix" and whoop that Trick. Williams sends the Luchador out of the ring, beating him down before sending Phoenix into the ring steps as we get a muted audio for an ad break. Williams brings Phoenix back into the ring, quickly sending him back into the corner for some stomps before Ray rolls out of the ring. The ref begins to count, but Phoenix is back in the ring only to be slammed down hard by Trick for a 2. Williams keeps things moving as he wears a luchador down some more. He hoists Phoenix up for a suplex, but gets countered into a cradle for a 2. Set of kicks from Phoenix takes Trick to the canvas, and both men are down as the ref begins to count. The two start fighting back in their feet as the audio is muted, bringing us back. Trick keeps Phoenix at bay with a knee before sending him to the corner. Ray tries to fight back but gets caught on the shoulders of Williams, managing to break free to force the former NXT champion into the corner. The two fight it out on the turnbuckle, and Phoenix wins with a Hurricanrana, sending Williams to the mat for a close 2 count. Phoenix goes back up, but Trick blocks it before sending the luchador down with a 360 pump kick and a urinage for a near fall each time. Phoenix is on his feet in his corner as Trick charges at him, only for Ray to dodge just in time. Phoenix connects with a tornado inverted DDT on Trick, but it's only good for a 2. Trick is sent to the ropes as Phoenix lands Adios Amigo, sending him to the mat. Phoenix up top, but he gets caught by Trick, and a counter by Ray is countered into a roll-up with extra tights for Trick to get the win. Winner via pinfall, Trick Williams. Trick celebrates as we go to backstage where someone forgot to do a mic check as Brian Saxton nearly takes out my eardrums to talk to Julia and Kiana James. Just kidding. Kiana speaks oddly quiet for this segment, but the main point is that Julia has no qualms about being up Alexa Bliss to defend the Women's U.S. Championship later tonight. We're reminded of 3 Stages of Hell match later tonight for the undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Championship, and a look back at the ambulance match between Aleister Black and Damian Priest before heading to commercial. Video package highlights from last week's ambulance match that saw involvement from Zelina Vega and Rhea Ripley before Damian Priest took the ultimately took the victory. Backstage, someone has actually done a mic check as Byron Saxton talks to Priest, who talks about what's next for him. He looks at the Royal Rumble as his opportunity to face Cody Rhodes before Drew steps in to talk about the possibility that he will be champion going to the Rumble. Priest reminds Drew what happened last time they faced off, wishing him luck before walking off. We didn't hear from Drew about getting into 3 Stages of Hell. Emotions are high, says Drew, but not for him. He can only imagine the look on his face when he sees what Drew has this week, showing off the very watch Dusty pawned off to pay for the Cody's feature. Man, the audacity of this dude, man. His father, Dusty Rhodes. Man, let the man rest in peace. He says Cody is going to get himself disqualified on the first fall, and all he needs is one more fall to make sure he finally wins the World Wrestling Entertainment Championship. Yeah, so that's your plan, huh, Drew? We'll see about that. Elsewhere, Alexa's on the phone with Charlotte, wishing her all the best and feeling better when Nia Jax Lash Legend appeared, mocking her about Flair not being around when Bliss has an opportunity for herself. Bliss tells Lash to drop Nia as soon as she can for walking off. Tell her right to her face, Alexa, to shut her up. With that, we head to ringside for our next match. Julia makes her entrance first because tradition means nothing in 2025. I mean 2026. Nothing in 2026. The champ enters the ring looking very pleased with herself ahead of the match as we go to a commercial break. Sydney Free is in the house. Alexa makes her entrance as we return to ringside. Commentary arguing over whether or not Charlotte is actually sick as the match gets underway. Women's U.S. Championship match. Julia defends against Alexa Bliss. Things turn into a shoving contest early on before the two trade strikes. Julia takes control for a suplex, and Bliss retreats her to the corner, which allows the champ to set up for a missile dropkick and a 2 count. She sends the challenger to the corner and to the outside, but Bliss catches her off guard for going off the apron for a cannonball senton, but nobody's home. And the champ is in control as we fade black for a commercial break. Man, I'm telling you, USA is going to fail. Bliss starts to regain control as Kiana James gets involved, and this allows Julia to get back on the attack. As she has Alexa up on the ropes, she hits a drop kick for a 2 count. And take Alexa Black down for another near fall as we go before we go out of break. Bliss escapes to the corner as the champ stays on her with a knee. She drives Alexa into the ropes, backing off at the ref's insistence. And this allows another cheap shot from James. Bliss starts to fight back with strikes, but only be knocked back with a forearm from Julia. She continues to wear the champ down, getting for a 2 count for her efforts. Julia catches the challenger off guard for a near fall of her own, followed by a Arrivederci. She looks for a second one, but Bliss breaks free only for Kiana to distract her by getting up on the apron. The ref deal with Kiana as Alexa goes up top, only to be knocked off the 9 and lash. Julia lands on the Northern Lights bomb on the challenger to retain. Winner via pinfall and still Women's U.S. Champion, Julia. No celebration here as Nia and Lash attack Bliss after the match, leading to Annihilator. Yeah, you want to know the reason why Nia Jax and Lash attack Bliss? You want to know why? I'll tell you why. The only reason why, they attack Bliss because they can took an insult. That's the reason why they attack Bliss because they couldn't take an insult because Alexa Bliss said you know what Alexa Bliss said to them. They said I'll tell you what she said. They said what they said to nine my hole and last bitch ass legend. She said that remark she said that she told Lash to drop Nia as soon as she can. That's why, because all of a sudden you can see and Lash Legends think she's Booker T all of a sudden saying, "You didn't just say that. Tell me you did not just say that." She attacked because she couldn't took an insult earlier today. Yeah. Backstage, Nick Aldis officially welcomes Jordan Grace to SmackDown for Chelsea Green interrupt, showing off her AA Mixed Tag Team Championship while demanding a rematch for the Women's U.S. title. Grace talks about not being a diva like some women, and this riles up Green and Albert Fire too bad to the point where Aldis gets an idea and make Fire versus Grace official for later tonight. He then deals with Kit Wilson by closing the door on him when asked about dealing with Matt Cardona. You know, I'll say just shut up, Chelsea Green. Green, just shut up. You don't deserve that women's U.S. title. You can knucker. You're overrated. And by the way, speaking of um uh Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder, was standing backstage. Zack standing backside with Brian Saxon. He talks about the options he had after leaving nearly 6 years ago, but he decided he bust his ass, and work as hard as he could to eventually come back. He turns his attention to his old pal Cody Rhodes. Got booed, which is kind of insulting, saying he's not and disrespectful, saying he's not back, just back to be back to get that title. Cody Rhodes says once he gets past Drew McIntyre tonight, he'll think it over. They shake hands. We go to commercial break. Up next is the eight-man tag action between the Wyatt Six and the MFTs. Hold on a second. Okay, let's see what you're trying to see. Okay, I was trying to see where it was. Yeah, okay, commercial break. Commentary talks about the history of the three stages of Hells and what it means for Drew and Cody to go into it tonight. And we see a video package the ongoing war between the Wyatt Six and the MFTs leading to our match tonight. We head to ringside where the MFTs make their way out for our next match. Lights go out and the Fireflies are about as the Wyatt Six make their entrance, heading down to the ramp posing before this match gets underway. Eight-man tag team match, Wyatt Six versus the MFTs. Tonga Leo and Dexter Lumis start things off, with Lumis quickly taking control before making a tag to Joe Gacy. Gacy takes Leo down hard for a near fall before sending him out of the ring. leading to a dive on him on Tama Tonga by the tag chance. We get a standoff between the two groups on the outside as the mute audio takes us into a break. Gacy and Leo eventually get back in the ring. Gacy fending off Tama on the apron before Tyler takes him down before the ref is distracted. This gets Leo an opening, stomping away at Gacy before tagging in Tama. Double teaming Tongans, but keep Joe warned as Tama continues the attack to bring Gacy to the corner. Tag made to Tala, who hits a clothesline for taking Joe to the mat. Back on his feet, Gacy is sent to the ropes for an elbow as the crowd lets Solo know how they feel about him. Speaking of, Solo gets a tag. He sends Gacy back into the corner, but Joe starts to fight back before a hammer throw sends him to the opposite side. Lands some hard hands on Gacy before the ref intervenes, and as Yayo mutes to bring us back from the break. Sioka lands some more shots on Gacy for tagging Tom back in, who mainly focuses on Gacy away from the tag, only to take a clothesline from off the ropes by Gacy. Who tags Eric Rowan. MFT rush into the ring, but Rowan goes off on them like crazy. Tonga steps in the ring as we get the Haas fight we've been craving all match. The two men trading strikes back and forth until a headbutt from Tao sends Rowan to a knee. Tao hits the ropes but gets caught with a forearm by Rowan. He hoists Tao up on his shoulders. But the Tongans break free for the clothesline. The two go back at it until they lay each other out with a double clothesline. Howdy and Solo get on the apron until the two giants crawl to the corner for the tag to their respective leaders. They go back and forth on strikes until Solo goes on for a spike, only for Howdy to corner with a urinage. He goes for his sister Abigail, but breaks free, getting a tag to Tama. Tama takes a urinage as JC Mateo tries to get involved. He takes a urinage, but before Howdy can do any more, he is distracted by the sight of Solo holding his lantern. But this allows the MFTs to take control with Tama hitting Cutthroat for the win. The winners, the MFTs. Wow, they're really shitting on the YS6, The group retreats up the ramp with Solo still holding onto his lantern as before we cut away. Backstage, Carmelo Hayes bumps into the Miz and they talk up the title shots for U.S. title, United States and the WWE titles, with Dragunov also appearing. He wants to talk. He says as he wants to talk to all us about a shot at the World Wrestling Entertainment Championship down the line. Back at ringside, Alba Fire is accompanied by Chelsea Green, pain in the ass, as she heads to the ring for our next match. She faces Jordan Grace in our last Smackdown debut up next. Commercial break. Video package. Oh, Femi is coming. We head to the back as Jordan Grace makes her entrance to a nice pop. She enters the ring as this match gets underway. Jordan Grace versus Alba Fire. Fire goes for a cheap shot, and this just leads Grace to unleashing hell on her before sending her to the mat, sending her to the corner. Alba Fire starts to fight back before again being sent down hard to the mat. Lands on a kick to the midsection and a DET off the ropes for a 2 count. Some mounted punches from Alba Fire. She's being shoved away by Grace, who blocks a suplex attempt. Fire tries to send her into the corner, but Grace gets sent out of harm's way before landing a spinebuster in a package powerbomb, but Green distracts the ref to prevent a pin. Green gets sent off the apron by Jordan, who lands on beast mode on Albert Fire to pick up the win. Winner via pinfall, Jordan Grace. Grace heads up to the ramp, only to come face to face with Jade Cargill. Jay has a mic and starts running Grace, asking if she's special, before saying she's on Jay's show and that she is. Well, Cargill drops the mic and walks off before we cut away. All I can say is this: Jade Cargill's been under a lot of pressure. Jade Cargill's been under a lot of pressure after she's been put out of action last year by Jimmy Uso's whorish wife, Naomi. That's all I can say. Backstage, we hear from Sami Zayn, who admits he kind of hopes Drew wins the WWE Championship, but either way, he's ready for whoever leaves the champion. Commentary hypes up the 3 stages of hell as we head to ringside, where Carmelo Hayes makes his entrance to continue the U.S. Championship Open Challenge. We find out who he faces up next. Backstage, we see Nathan Frazier getting ready to face his friend Axiom to the ring for an open challenge, but it's actually Johnny Gargano who lays him out before running off. We see the Axiom check on his friend before heading to ringside, where Shinsuke Nakamura makes his entrance to answer the open challenge. The crowd sings along his theme as he walks down the ramp. Entering the ring to get this match underway. U.S. Championship Open Challenge. Carmelo Hayes defends against Shinsuke Nakamura. The 2 men circle the ramp before locking up, with Hayes eventually taking control. He sends Nakamura out of the ring, but is cut off at the apron by Shinsuke, but gets back in the ring to only be taken down as we head to go to a break. Sends Nakamura to the corner, starting up for some mounting punches, with a pause for a 3-6-7 for finishing things up. He goes for a suplex, but Shinsuke fights back for a 2 count. Hayes with a near fall this time, and Nakamura gets a quick of his own to end the exchange. Nakamura with a knee drop on the champ and gets the 2. Shinsuke sends Melo to the corner for some kicks before diving his foot into a throat by Snapmare by Nakamura in the chin lock. Hayes fights to his feet, but is laid out with a chop to a challenger for a near fall and takes us out of a break. He gets sent to the corner. Shinsuke lands on some knee shots. He sends Melo to the ropes this time, laying him out with a kick. He tries to fight back in the corner, but his Dragon Street sends his leg into the ropes and forces him to the floor. Nakamura brings back the champ in the ring, laying him some more shots before getting a 2 count. He continues the attack in the corner, focusing on the leg as the ref checks in on Hayes. Nakamura continues to go after the leg, setting up for a modified clover leaf. Hayes kicks away at challenger, finally breaking the hold. Hayes gets the knee, but takes a set of kicks to the chest. Nakamura eggs him on, and Hayes responds in a kind, and he fights back. Melo looks a little shaky here, but manages to land a DDT for a 2 count. Back up, sending Hayes to the corner before the champ fights back into the Shinsuke, sends Shinsuke to the mat as we go to another ad break. Another break. Hayes goes to the corner but is cut off by the challenger, who lands on another dragon screw to keep Mello down. Hayes manages to break away from another dragon screw, landing a kick in the head of Shinsuke, but favoring his leg as the ref checks on him once more. Hayes insists he's fine as he tells the challenger to try to take his title. Nakamura pays a little mind to taunt as he goes back to work on the champ. He brings Hayes to his feet in the ropes, but Mello fights out of a suplex for a head scissors to force the challenger to the mat as we return from the break. Looks like Shinsuke is going to come here as a face here. Both men are down but make it back to their feet as Hayes goes to the corner and knock the corner. Nakamura intercepts him on the turnbuckle, Hayes setting up in a tree of woe before charging at him for a sliding drop kick. But Mello makes him miss. Mello makes him miss as he rises up and breaks free of the ropes to get the drop on Shinsuke, bringing him back into the ring. He goes up top for a frog splash, but Nakamura rolls out of the way before going after the leg with a submission hold. Hayes struggles crawling to the ropes to break the hold. He catches the challenger with a counter hitting the ropes to charge at Shinsuke, who lands on a kick to keep him down. The Death Rider driver goal gets in 2 count for Nakamura. Hayes counters with Kinshasa thrust kick before going to Brett's rope for a kick in a near fall zone. She gets back on the turnbuckle but is cut off by Nakamura, who sets up for an avalanche Kinshasa. He goes for another one, but gets caught with a first 48. Hayes goes up top for nothing but net, but picks up to retain. Winner via pinfall is still U.S. champion Carmelo Hayes. Hayes offers a handshake to Nakamura post-match to proverbial code of honor, and he's there with a sign of sportsmanship. Backstage, we hear from Cody Rhodes, who runs down Drew McIntyre for what he's done and promising to beat him to retain the title. We hear from Nick Aldis next. He hypes up tonight's main event before announcing that 4 qualifying matches next week will lead to a fatal 4-way match to retain, determined the number 1 contender for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble. Commentary runs down the qualifying matches for next week. Randy Orton versus The Miz, Damian Priest versus Solo Sikoa, Matt Cardona versus Trick Williams, Sami Zayn versus Eli Dragunov. With that, it's time for our main event. Video package: the feud between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre comes to a head as both men with the 3 stages of hell for the undisputed WWE Championship. We head to ringside where we are reminded of the 3 stages for tonight's main event. First, a straight-up wrestling match that can only be won by pinfall, submission, disqualification, or countout. The second, where falls count anywhere, the premises of the Uber Arena. The third, if needed, will be held in a steel cage, where a win comes by way of a pinfall, submission, or escaping the cage with both feet touching the floor. Backstage, Drew McIntyre makes his entrance first, sporting the watch, and he says belonged to Dusty Rhodes as he walks down the ramp. He comes into the ring with a descent pop despite the despicable heel in this feud. And that's stupid. I understand why in the world you're cheering for doing this crap. Want to see Drew win this title and feud finally. With that, Rhodes makes his entrance, and those not booing him are singing along his theme. Rhodes enters the ring, staring Drew McIntyre down as we get to the introduction for the challenger and champion to get this main event underway. Three stages of Hell Undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Championship match. Cody Rhodes defends against Drew McIntyre. An angry Cody charges at McIntyre, laying into the challenger before sending him to ringside, sending him to the outside. Drew tries to go him to using a steel chair and risk a disqualification, but Champ is having none of it as he kicks him in the gut before bringing Drew back in the ring. Double bionic elbow sends McIntyre right back out, but Drew makes him pay for it by sending him to the ring steps. He brings Cody back into the ring for a slam, but Cody Rhodes counters into a Cody cutter for a 2 count. Drew retreats into the corner, trying to beg the champ off. But Rhodes responds with some stops before the ref intervenes. He sends Drew on the ride with a German suplex to a Cody Rhodes chant from the crowd. A second suplex attempt leads to Drew blocking it, taking the turnbuckle pad off in the process. The ref is focused on fixing this, allowing Drew to land on a low blow and a Claymore for a pinfall to take the first stage. Winner of the stage 1 via pinfall, Drew McIntyre. Stage 2 is just becoming a falls count anywhere. Drew is pleased with this. Yeah, smiling Scottish piece of shit. As he brings Cody out of the ring, setting up a Slim Jim table and sending the champ through it. The powerbomb is only good for a 2 count. Cody starts to fight back now, sending the challenger into the ring post before taking the fight into the crowd. The brawl continues, leading to Cody being handed a phone for a selfie as he lays into McIntyre for some more. The fight now spills to the backstage where Banana comes into play before Drew is slammed against the gate. McIntyre turns it around now, bringing the champ back into the sands as he looks for a powerbomb. Cody escapes using the guardrail, sending Drew away before setting him up on the table. Drew is brought out early on. Cody gets a crazy idea and goes up on the steps, leaping off the guardrail for a splash that drives Drew through the table, covered by the champ. And McIntyre narrowly kicks out. Cody grabs the challenger and walks him toward the ringside area, throwing him over the barricade. Rhodes pays for this as McIntyre grabs a chair to slam him against the champ, but a Claymore attempt is countered with a thrust kick by Cody. He clears the announce table through the crowd, booing him as he connects with a crossroads, sending him both men through the table. But it's Cody who gets his arm through the challenger to take the second stage. Winner of stage 2 via pinfall, Cody Rhodes. We await the lowering of the steel cage as Cody has to bring Drew into the ring first. With that, the music hits as the as the cage comes to it, begin stage 3. When it does, Cody gets Drew to his feet before slamming the challenger against the side of the cage. Cody continues the attack on McIntyre, who looks to get out through the door before Cody comes back after him. Drew counters for a near fall for climbing up the side of the cage, but Drew intercepts him. They start a fight out until Cody starts climb over, only to be caught for a massive suplex by McIntyre, sending the champ crashing to the mat. Covered by Drew, but it's only good for a 2 count. He continues to beat down but a back elbow by only garners for a near fall for his efforts. Cody starts to fight back, but is driven down by a future shot DDT that gets another close 2 count for McIntyre. Drew pummels Cody with right hands, but the champ catches him, and breaks free. Drew goes right back to work, telling Cody to stay down. As he continues to wear him down, Cody is sent to the ropes, but counters into a crossroads for a 2 count. Both men are down, but the champ is the first one to get to his feet. Drew is up as well as the pair start trading shots at each other. Both men hit the ropes, and Cody dodges Drew in the corner for a snap power slam and a near fall. Drew rises to his feet, only for Cody to take a Cody cutter as the champ goes for a cover, but Drew narrowly kicks out. Cody is fired up as he goes for a crossroads, landing 2 as the crowd are booing. Drew breaks free from a third attempt, and he dodges Cody in the corner as the champ runs into the exposed turnbuckle and turns around into a claymore. Drew makes the cover, and Cody kicks out in the nick of time to save his title. Drew slowly gets to his feet and begins to climb in the steel cage, but gets caught by the champ, who takes a bite out of McIntyre's leg. Cody climbs to get the 2 duking out on the top of the cage. Drew gets slammed on top of the cage, and then to the side, which forces McIntyre to drop to the canvas. Just when it looks like Cody is going to the finish, leaving the cage, he decides to instead go for the avalanche Cody cutter off the side of the cage. He covers Drew looking for the win, and is denied as McIntyre kicks out once more. Both men are down until Cody crawls to the rope, slowly making him back to his feet. He sees the end of the sight and starts to climb up the side of the cage until Drew comes after him and bites his leg in revenge. Until they battle on the side of the cage, slamming each other into it to see who will fall. Cody manages to get to the top, but is kept by McIntyre, who continues to land shot after on the champ. It comes to a halt when Drew gets dropped on to the top and colliding with his little claymores to force him to the mat. Cody also gets dropped, landing on his little American nightmares as he falls to the canvas. Drew crawls toward the cage door and gets open, but waiting for him on the outside is someone in a mask and hoodie. That person reveals themselves. It's Jacob Fatu. Wow, we may have found out who attacked Fatu all those months. As he goes after McIntyre until Cody seemingly tries to intervene. This makes Jacob more mad as a small word goes off Rhodes, sending him into the corner, which allows Drew to crawl through the cage door, landing on the floor with both feet touching. We have a new, undisputed fucking WWE champion. The Scottish piece of shit WWE champion, the Scottish piece of shit Drew McIntyre, winner in 3 stages via escape, and new undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment champion, undisputed world's worst wrestling entertainment champion, so to speak, Drew McIntyre. Drew is delayed as he is handed the championship, retreating to the ramp to celebrate as an irate Cody Rhodes blindsides Fatu for his interference. Good. Get a look at the new champ and the man he just outsmarted for the belt to bring Smackdown to a close. All I can say is this: boo, boo, bullshit. Way to go, Triple H. Bad booking. Let's have this Scottish has-been be a bulletproof World Wrestling Entertainment champion. And you know what? You fans are too stupid to say good book. Hello, Fatu interfered and screwed Cody, you idiots. You freaking idiots. We all know he's somehow he's gonna the Triple H is gonna, I don't know why in the world Triple H keeps shoving Drew McIntyre in our throats. See, the thing is, Triple H, you're obsessive. Yes, yeah. Keep shoving. Go ahead and shove Drew down our throats once again. Piece of shit. We all know somehow we got the Royal Rumble coming up. You know, somehow you're gonna have someone who will face him for the title at Royal Rumble. But we all know he'll retain. We want to know who will win the Royal Rumble, will face him at WrestleMania 42 in Vegas, which is stupid because I don't know why your obsession with Vegas when you just had it last year. Yeah, we all know who will face him for being the number one contender for a fatal four-way match winner for the undisputed WWE Championship for at Saturday night's main event the following months. I mean this month. This is unbelievable. Way to go, screwing over Drew McIntyre, screwing over Cody Rhodes, Triple H. Maybe you got some core vendetta against it because it goes back to goes back to when to the goes back way back to legacy. Orton, DiBiase Jr. and Cody. Yeah, I think you got something vendetta against Cody. This goes back to the legacy. Yeah, because what they did to your wife, Stephanie. It's unbelievable this evening. Don't worry. Somehow WWE is gonna put that title on Drew somehow. Everybody. Just watch. Don't trust. I mean, we know how Triple H is. We know how his mind works. He's a cerebral assassin. The King of Kings, the game. Triple H is no King of Kings. God is the King of Kings, not him. So that's all I can say about that. That's I told you yesterday's history and birthdays and all that stuff. I mean, terrible show tonight. This evening. Okay, yesterday was a happy 58th birthday to Bull Nakano, Japanese wrestler, WWE Hall of Famer. Yesterday would have been a happy Would have been happy 68th birthday to Rey Mysterio Sr. No relation to Rey Mysterio Jr. He died on December 20th, 2000 of last year. He would have been 68 yesterday. And yesterday was a happy 43rd birthday to Chris Masters, the masterpiece. And some wrestling history yesterday. On WCW Prime, Arn Anderson and Ric Flair defeated the State Patrol, Lieutenant James Earl and Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker. Then on the Monday Night Wars between WCW Nitro on TNT, and WWE, between WWE Monday Night Raw on the USA Network and WCW's Monday Night Nitro on TNT. Let's see. Yesterday on Monday Night Raw marked the debut of WWE Hall of Famer Stone Cold Steve Austin, where he debuted as the ringmaster. Yeah, marked the debut of WWE debut of Stone Cold Steve Austin as the ringmaster. Yeah. But later, a couple months later, they will change his name to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Ringmaster is a real terrible name. Yeah, on the Brother Love show, with him holding the $1 million U.S. Championship, which had been inactive for 4 years. And then, which they say, a future replay of the full Brett Davey Boy Brett versus British Bulldog match from In Your House, seasons being last year, included the debut of Scheme Gene in the Royal Rumble report, which included the announcement that Takona Mori would be in the Royal Rumble. And they did this little mockery to WCW, a stupid move on Vince's part because of hatred to WCW. Featured a brief interview with Earl Hebner regarding why he allowed Brett and Bulldog draw title match to go on despite Hart's massive blood loss. Featured a segment featuring Billionaire Ted, which he tried to come up with a new slogan for WCW. It's a little mockery. They were poking fun at WCW, WWE. It's like this, and they'll do the same thing to WCW to do to Goldberg with Dwayne Gill as Gilbert. Jeff Jarrett defeated Hakushi. Ahmed Johnson defeated Jeff Bretler. Goldust defeated Aldo Montoya. Okay, yeah, on WCW Monday Nitro, and WCW Nitro on TNT, Chris Benoit with Brian Pillman defeated Alex Wright. Eddie Guerrero defeated Lord Steven Regal with Jeeves. Sting defeated DDP. Hulk Hogan defeated Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man Randy Savage defeated Four Horsemen, Arn Anderson and Ric Flair. Yeah, this took place in Charleston, South Carolina, the North Charleston Coliseum. And where WWE Monday Night Raw took place, that took place at the where Monday Night Raw took place at in Bob Contra Center in Newark, Delaware. Then on Sunday Night Heat pre-show, counting down to the countdown to pre-show to New Year's Revolution. Chavo Guerrero defeated Gene Snitsky. Then the show where it all started. Then a big pay-per-view started. New Year's Revolution, 2006 took place, and it was live at the MVP Arena in Albany, New York. I know a good friend of mine from Pittsburgh was at the Pepsi Arena. 11,000 were in attendance. Yeah. Opening the match, Ric Flair defeated Edge with lead by DQ for the Intercontinental title. Trish Stratus defeated Mickie James by pinfall for the women's title. As like two best friends, her favorite being in the ring with her favorite Mickie James being in the ring with her favorite wrestler. Jerry Lawler defeated Gregory Helms by pinfall. Triple H defeated Big Show by pinfall. Shelton Benjamin with Mama Benjamin defeated Viscera by pinfall. And Ashley defeated Candice, Michelle, Maria, and Tori Wilson and Victoria in the Broad Panties Gauntlet match. And John Cena defeated Carlito and Chris Masters, Shawn Michaels, and Kane and Kurt Angle in Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship. By the way, one thing, pre-birthday, for those of you know that heard the open the show, mentioned open the show, Fame by David Bowie. Yesterday would have been a happy 79th birthday to David Bowie. And some of you heard him play his music called Fame. Yeah, all of you heard his music play his music called Fame by Fame his number one single from 1975 from his album Young Americans. You've been 69 yesterday. God rest his soul. And then after John Cena, I mentioned John Cena defeated Carlito, Chris Masters, Shawn Michaels. And Chris Masters on his this was on Chris Masters on his 33rd birthday. He lost 33rd birthday, and Shawn Michaels, Kane, Kurt Angle, elimination chamber match for the WWE title. But on Sunday, Mr. McMahon made an appearance. He said that the match isn't over. He came out and told John Cena that he'll defend his title once again because Edge is cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase. And Edge came to start the fight, and then bam, Edge beat John Cena, would lead defeated John Cena to become the new WWE champion. This was Edge Money in the Bank cash in. It's one of the biggest moments in WWE history. Then the 2016 Pop Culture, January the 8th. A couple of movies released in theaters. The Forest, starring Natalie Dormer. Anesthesia, starring Glenn Close and Kristen Stewart. And Lamb, starring Una Lawrence and Ross Partridge. And yeah, recurring roles on a Netflix show, Stranger Things, by the way. Okay. Um, on this, and let's go now. Let's go January 9th. 1 year ago today, we lost Black Bart. The passing of Black Bart. His real name is Rick Harris. He died 1 year ago today. Today is a happy 59th birthday. 49th birthday to WWE, to Todd Grisham, former WWE commentator. And Ruby Soho, Ruby Dory Prange, better known by a ring name Ruby Riott in WWE, and now Ruby Soho in AEW. She turns 35 today. And on this day in this day in 1996 on ECW Hardcore TV, Taz defeated Koji Nagagawa. Bruzo Mastino defeated El Puerto Ricano. Raven defeated Tommy Dreamer. Then on this day in 2006, on Monday Night Raw, night after New Year's Revolution, it took place at Giant Center, Hershey, Pennsylvania. There was a little segment between Cena and Lita talking about how her Lita talking about how her man beat her at New Year's Revolution, and then he asked for a rematch. Ashley Massaro, then see the match here. Ashley Massaro defeated Trish Stratus by DQ in a women's title match until interference by Mickie James. Chava Guerrero defeated Rod Conway in a Royal Rumble qualifying match. Chris Masters and Carlito defeated Shawn Michaels with Devara and Kurt Angle. Shelton Benjamin defeated Val Venus in a Royal Rumble qualifying match. Kane defeated Gene Snitsky in a Royal Rumble qualifying match. With Mama Benjamin. And then we see the live sec, and then we see the one. This is what happened. Live sex celebration between Edge and Lita, one of the biggest moments in WWE history. That led the live sex celebration to do the fact that he was trying to consummate their marriage. Because he cashed in his money bank briefcase. But all until then, Ric Flair came in and get his revenge, get his little measure of revenge on Edge after he beat him, bloodied him up this was the debut of his rated R. He had a rated R WWE Championship Edge. He bloodied. Ric Flair interrupted the live sex ceremony trying to get his revenge on Edge. And then Cena came out and he attacked. Then John Cena came out to save Ric Flair, but while Edge attacks, and I know a good friend of mine from Pittsburgh remembers that moment. This moment, 20 years ago today, the live sex celebration between Edge and Lita in Hershey, Pennsylvania, Giant Center. Yeah. And that's it. That'll do for my everything. Got everything covered. I'm the Godfather Soldier Slimming. It's late chat. She always say like to dress up a chubby checker, dance like Lionel Richie, sing like James Brown, like to get in a hot tub, gonna make me sweat, gonna make me dry, gonna make me wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live back in the 80s. I never grew up in his group in the 90s. But I saw reruns of old school Saturday Night Live when I was little. So Saturday Night Live when I was little on Comedy Central. Yeah. So hope I have a good night. It's 6:23 right now, and I'm say this WWE is gonna fail completely gonna fail. That's all I can say. Now I'm gonna close out something for all of you, a little bit of music for all of you today to know that close the music. I'm gonna close out the music for all of you. I'm gonna close out this number one hit single from 1983 called "Let's Dance" by David Bowie. Now, the reason why I'm closing out this song for you, all of you tonight, because tomorrow will mark the 10th anniversary of passing of one of my favorite rock and roll legends, and all of you know who. So I'm gonna play it for all of you. So I hope all of you good night. I'm out here. Peace. Where's the Niger? Where's the Niger? Where's the Niger? Let me see. Oh, you doing? Oh, she doing homework. Okay, okay, okay. Are you? I thought you. Yeah. Oh, you. Are you coloring? Coloring. Your little coloring book.